Thank you. Okay. So the idea of presenting lumbar disc surgery under spinal anesthesia is not to teach lumbar discectomy. It's to just remind us that there are certain ideas that have been floated over the years but haven't gained the kind of popularity that they probably should have gained. That was the idea behind presenting this, just to remind ourselves that there are ideas other than GA for a single lever lumbar discectomy. So the concept is not new. It's been around for probably more than 4 decades, and people have found it useful as far as the outcome is concerned. The overall burden of back pain in patients all over the world is pretty huge, and a good chunk of these patients end up having discectomies with ever increasing pressure on our bed resources, especially during the COVID period, and the increasing cost of surgery, and probably the risk of infections in patients who stay overnight in the hospitals. The concept is gaining importance. That's why we have decided to present these cases. So the anesthetist and the surgeons both have analyzed this concept, and they found it useful. Patients who undergo discectomy under spinal anesthesia have same, if not better outcome than those who undergo discectomy under general anesthesia. So this is the protocol that we follow for our patients who present to our clinic and are candidates of discectomy. These are patients who undergo single level discectomy. So the most important part, what we have found, is the pre-op counseling. The fear of spine surgery in our patients is too much. Lots of patients who probably will benefit from surgery usually do not opt for surgery simply because they've seen a patient or they've heard something bad about spine surgery. So when you give them the option of surgery under spinal anesthesia, a lot of them do agree. Our anesthesia team started using the cutting needle first, but they've moved on to the pencil point needle. The reason for that is the pencil point needle leads to less post-operative headaches and nausea, vomiting in patients who have spinal anesthesia. We perform the discectomy as a routine procedure as described in the literature. And the patients are typically ambulated 3 to 4 hours after surgery, and they're discharged on the same day as a day case. So these are some of the results that we have compiled of our patients. We've looked at 100 consecutive patients who underwent discectomy under spinal anesthesia. Majority of them were males, and our total OR in to OR out time is around 40 to 45 minutes. So we've had 2 patients who had spinal anesthesia, and when they started giving the anesthesia, 2 of them went into vasovagal syncope. But we have not converted any of our patients to general anesthesia. Our anesthesia team typically waited for 10 to 15 minutes, stabilized the patient, and attempted a second time. And the spinal anesthesia was successful. So we have not had a patient who needed general anesthesia. As described in the literature, we have our share of complications. We've had dural tears, we had wound infections. However, till the last follow-up, we have not seen any patient in our practice who had needed surgery at the same level. We have seen patients who have had post-operative shivering. This is not common, but we have seen this in 6 of our patients. Probably the reason for this is the vasodilatation that is caused by the spinal anesthesia. Some of these patients need nalbuphine or tramadol, and it settles with a single dose of nalbuphine or tramadol. However, we have not seen any post-operative nausea, vomiting in the early post-operative period in our patients. So what we've gained from our experience, patients who are good candidates for anesthesia, ASA and 1 and 2 can undergo spinal anesthesia. However, those patients who are not fit for general anesthesia because of their high blood pressure or some other reason or the fear of surgery, if properly counseled and we have a good anesthesia team that is experienced, we can offer them surgery and they can benefit from the procedure of discectomy. Early ambulation after surgery gives the patient and the family the confidence, and when they see their attendant, the attendants see the patients mobile after 3 to 4 hours, they're pretty happy. So, and this decreases the fear of spine surgery. It's a word of mouth. So if somebody sees a patient who undergoes a surgery and spinal anesthesia, and they are ambulant after 3 to 4 hours, and they discharge the same day, this word of mouth spreads. So the fear of spine surgery proportionally goes down. Although we focused only on the single level discectomy, but as we gain experience, we have performed procedures at more than one levels. So the time is of the essence because the spinal anesthesia typically lasts for 2 hours, somewhere around 2 hours. So if the surgery can be performed within this time window, a procedure that is more than one level can also be offered to the patients. In our setup, the cost, the two reasons why patients opt for spinal anesthesia for lumbar discectomy, one is the fear of general anesthesia, the second is the cost. If we compare the cost of we haven't compared it in our study, but typically in our patient population, the difference is around 20,000. So 20,000 difference of a single surgery means a lot to a patient who is not well affording. So OR time is reduced where there are multiple surgeons performing on the same day. This reduction in OR time gives opportunity to other colleagues to perform their procedures well. We have seen that if you give proper counseling, especially the attending, the surgeon who is dealing with the patient along with the team, if they do proper counseling, patients, we have not seen a patient who agree for surgery, offer spinal anesthesia, and they don't come for surgery. But we have seen patients, if they're offered, they need surgery, we give them the option of general anesthesia. A lot of them don't turn back. Some of them go away, but spinal anesthesia is something that is attractive to the patient because of they are awake and because of the cost effectiveness. Since it can be done as a day case surgery, so the risk of a nosocomial infection probably can be reduced because the patients do not stay overnight. So there is a theoretical chance that they might not acquire the nosocomial infections, although the risk of infection in a clean surgery is already very low. However, there are certain downsides to surgery under spinal anesthesia. We've seen the patients that I mentioned, two of the patients who had vasovagal syncope after spinal anesthesia, and they were later on better. These are patients who are in their 20s or in their 30s. These patients, the young patients, typically have a problem with spinal anesthesia. Not all of them, but some of them do get this. For that, we offer them and we advise them to drink plenty of fluids. Typically 2 to 3 liters of fluid is enough. The vasovagal is more common with the cutting needle type rather than the pencil point needle type. So we moved on to the pencil point, and that has decreased the incidence of post-op headache. Another downside is that since the patient is under spinal anesthesia, sometimes the anesthesia is prolonged. We've seen patients who have anesthesia effect lasting for more than 3 hours, so 4 hours, 5 hours. So since the patient is counseled that they're able to ambulate after 3 to 4 hours, if the anesthesia effect is prolonged, they get worried, and so same happens with the surgical team. So rarely spinal anesthesia effect is prolonged. For that, you need to counsel the patients that it's not common, but it can happen. So post-operative urinary retention is also a problem with spinal anesthesia, but we have not found it. We encourage our patients to ambulate as soon as they're confident, they have power in their lower extremities, and they are able to stand up. We make them ambulate, and once they pass urine, we discharge them. So So what we can conclude from all of this is that spinal anesthesia for lumbar discectomy is an option for that can be considered for patients who are not good candidates or probably are not willing to undergo surgery under general anesthesia. And with the passage of time, as we gain experience and patients gain confidence and the word of mouth spread, patients do agree for surgery in spinal anesthesia. It's a day case procedure. The spinal anesthesia, the beauty of spinal anesthesia is that it lends itself to a day case procedure because the patient is in and out the same day. The surgical time is short and the effect is for a couple of hours. So it's a day case surgery. It decreases cost. It gives confidence to the patient, and it makes the OR available for the other colleagues to perform if there are multiple surgeons operating on the same day in the same theater. Thank you.
Thank you.